Alright everyone, Babylon here. Hey, today we're doing the Strange Harvest. Uh, we were doing the cultivation, but there was issues with the quest. Took a little bit to figure out what was going on. Finally got it done. I had to go leave the game, come back into the game, restart the mission, and redo it over and over again until I finally got it to take. But the problem was I didn't get it recorded. I got part of it recorded when I was on the first issue, but when I left the game, came back in, I forgot to push record, and but it took some doing. It wouldn't take the sulfur or the beeswax, but it would take the glass and there was one other deal I was giving it, but it took that stuff, but it wouldn't take uh, uh, the fruits or the vegetables. In fact, and you had to keep taking them in and out until it finally did take it and was able to complete the quest. But it did get done. We do have access. We can go down and farm anytime we need Ren. So there's that. But today, you can see there it's already been knocked out there. But we're going to do the Strange Harvest. It's not too hard of a quest. You will have a little boss bear to fight, and then you have to find some plant, and then you have to go find what's causing it, and then send it back up, the samples and stuff up. But we also did some breeding for the woods. We bred 2 wolves. Sorry about that. Uh, but we'll show them in the next video. That part, once again, got to push record. But that took quite a bit of time getting the serums and everything. I don't fully understand the genetic deal on the animals or nothing like that. I'm just going to breed them and see if I can get some different style wolves or different colored wolves or whatever it is that makes them so special. But I did get a new horse. It is an alpha class instead of a wild class or brave or anything. It's just called alpha class. I did get me a MOA. It's still growing, so you'll see that in the end of this video when we get back to base. We got let's see, we got tomatoes growing. We got sugar cane and kiwi or avocado. Yeah, it's one of the two. But we got those growing and everything. We're going to start building up seeds and stuff like that for the harvest for planting that big farm. I'm planning on building it so we can get a bunch of rent at one time and hopefully be able to respect my my talent points. That way I can be more focused on combat and stuff like that for the boss fights. Although the wolf boss is pretty simple, but now I don't know about the worms or something like that, or if there's any more other bosses other than those that are going to be higher level. But after this one here, we'll probably we'll just look at the quest and everything and see about how far, which one we're going to do next and stuff. And I'm really debating on going to the desert to do it. At least I'm hoping anyway. But right now we're going to go to the first spot here and take on the contaminated bear. But it's like I said, it's not. This quest isn't very hard. There's no swarms of animals you have to worry about or anything like that, other than those stupid bees, or swarm and get you every once in a while. And if you notice, I didn't take the wolves with me. If now, like I said, I've done this one before. It's not that difficult. It's the bear can be tough if you're not prepared for it. And you'll see here, he did hit me a couple of times, but didn't do too much damage. But I did get some rewards out of it. I believe it was a couple of exotics and stuff like that, but nothing really big. And this right here is what triggers what goes on. You can see there I got some lag taking place, which is the reason why we were changing up some of the stuff in place. We're taking down some of the workbenches and stuff like that. I think once we get away from the windmills and get enough batteries and enough solar power that the lag will cut down. Because I think it's the lag that's causing it is the motion of the windmills. But we do got quite a few windmills. So with that being done, we probably have to wind up getting rid of all that, I think. You see that bear wasn't too hard to beat. But yeah, it's just it's just crazy. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out my way there. I gotta get my friend online, hopefully here in a little while, and we can get my stream ready to go. And hopefully that'll be ready to go for Monday. But I just gotta get rid of that delay between chat and what I'm doing and talking. That way, I think it was like a 15-second delay. So me, if I went in and I typed something in and there was like a 15-second delay, I'll just go somewhere else. And I don't want that. I don't want people to come in and talk, shoot the crud, chill, and just watch somebody just play the game, not try to make a tutorial or explain how to do it or anything like that. I mean, I just play the game. Like right now, I'm just showing the missions and carrying on. But start streaming, that way I can have my videos to make the videos for the channel, and at the same time be able to communicate with people about what I'm doing and hear what they have to do, or just get to know people out there. But yeah, hopefully it all works out. I'm getting quite a bit of views, but they're like 10-minute views or something like that. They're not watching the whole video, so I got to figure out something to do to get people to stay into the video and go on. But it's kind of weird, you know. As a kid, I used to be able to talk to myself out loud, but people looked at me like I was crazy. Now here I am, I'm trying to do the same thing, but you're talking, what, 50 years later, and people looked at me crazy, and I just got to the point where I wouldn't talk out loud and just do it all in my head. Now here I am trying to bring it back out again. But I could usually take anything and make a story out of it. But it's just, you know, in my head. You know, I can't. It's difficult to get it to come back out again. Now that seems to be the normal thing for people to talk to themselves now. You see that by the use of YouTube. But at the end of this, though, we'll discuss the next missions and what track we're going to take first and stuff. Like I said, I'm leading towards the desert area missions and stuff to get into the desert so we can get some boars and some hyenas trained up. And, I don't know where these other. I think the other animals are on the DLCs. I think I haven't seen them in this game, but some of those like gibblers and I think one is skater or sketcher or some shit like that. But I think those are in the expansion packs. But we're definitely going to get some animals. Probably going to breed them when we move to our new facility here, which is hopefully by the end of next week. We'll have enough base building parts to actually set up the beginning of the base. And then we'll get everything moved over, and then I'll probably put down a chicken coop and stuff like that for the out of the homestead stuff, since I've never used that stuff before, but we're going to wind up using it anyway in this one here. So and then we'll get some cows, pigs, sheep, and chickens, I think. But I'm not going to stress with the dogs and the horses. I mean, we got plenty of animals for that, but we get milk and stuff from the cows and the wool from the sheep, and I ain't exactly sure what we get from bacon or from the pigs, other than maybe some manure or for fertilizer. Chickens, we should get eggs as it's simple, but we're going to get down to that and get started with that stuff here before long. But like I said, I just want to get moved to that new area before we do all that stuff. But at the same time, I want to progress through these missions and get them done. And hopefully this character will finally have everything unlocked and everything done by the time we're done with it. And if that's the case, but I don't know whether or not if he'll be able to unlock this stuff from the DLCs or not, unless he goes into the DLCs and do it. But if not, if he has to, then I'll probably do that offline and not record it. I just want to start. I know when I start Sticks, it'll be with a brand new character, and to experience it the way I did this game here. it's just Olympus is just, you know, it's just fun to play. You see here I froze up for some reason. Couldn't figure out what exactly why it was freezing up, but it's just crazy. Like I said, I don't know if it's because of the amount of deployables I have for drills and stuff or not. I know on my last one, last world I did, I started freeze framing, but I had way more stuff put out than this, so I don't know why it's freeze framing. Other than the windmills, I don't think I had that many windmills. Like I said, that's the reason why I'm leaning on trying to get rid of the windmills as soon as we can. And I put a solar panel up that'll free up. I think it's 3. I think the solar panels are 6,000 volts and the windmills are 1,700, so I can get rid of like 3 of the windmills at a time when I do a solar panel. But then again, I also got to get more battery storage down too to help through the nights. With as many windmills as I have, it's taking I think almost half the battery life that I have. So if I start getting rid of the windmills, I won't have that adding to it. So I don't have to build up the batteries altogether. Which we're almost to the resources where I can build I think 5 more batteries. I think. So hopefully we can get that done by the end of the next episode. Yeah, we're just having little technical difficulties, and like I said, I get my friend on, we'll run it. Like I said, I don't know if it's because I'm recording and playing the game at the same time with so many deployables down or what. But you see, after once I load in, when I first load in, it takes a long time where you can move around, and then all of a sudden he starts freeing up. But when I'm recording and stuff, I get it every once in a while. So I'm thinking if I just get rid of some of those windmills, that would just be better off because the windmills are in motion, so they're in motion all the time. So, but I don't know if that affects like when you're away from it though. And what's weird, you can be at the base and barely get very little lag after you finally get loaded in. So like I said, I'm not exactly sure what's causing it. It could be just my computer altogether. Here we're fixing to go up and find that deal right there, which we're going to have to buy or build some ramps to get up there to it. We just went with thatch ramps, that way we're not having to get leather and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a place to get it where it kind of connects with the hill there, like in that one spot. That way it'll have some stability to it. And coming down was a little bit more difficult, which, as you see there, you can barely have that one spot there. Jump over in here, it was just a matter of just going up a little bit and you didn't even get into it. Now you got the samples. Now you got to take those samples to the pod. So once you do that, you get your in for it. And here we're going to have to try to go down the mountain without falling off of it. To me, I thought that was pretty cool the way that mountain's sitting there with that thing that's sticking off the top of it. Kind of looked like a volcano action taking place. There we got down pretty good. And of course, you know, it's Icarus. You gotta, when you're out running around doing stuff, the storm's gonna take place. Here I'm just looking at this, over, taking my time with it there, and this is where we pick up our new mower, or mower anyway. This is our first one that we're actually gonna make back to base anyway. The others always got killed. We finally got one to survive. One tough little bee horse. And there it is. One of the most simplest quests there is out there, except for that very first quest. Or missions, excuse me. Here we're going to do some harvesting and we're going to take off and go back. Check out all the other missions out. You can see every once in a while I get that little bit like a little freeze frame type action going. Here I got to turn around backwards into that middle. Here we go, on our way back to the base. After we get some wheat. You can see with that sickle, using that sickle to harvest with, you can fill up your inventory pretty darn quick that way. And that attachment to having seed, you're guaranteed to get some kind of seed almost every time you swing. But here I am fighting, trying to fill up the inventory. Finally said the heck with it and just left. Just making sure that mower will keep up with me here. And back to the base again. And here we'll get the moa over here and get him situated. Now here, like I said, we're at the branch point now. There's the Arctic and the desert stuff. I said it's just a patience of having to figure out where and how long it'll take for us to actually get everything done good. Hopefully, it won't take long. I need to stay more mission. I didn't even think about doing some of these. Some of these you can actually get some resources out of, like on that one there, you place a beacon, but you get to keep the beacon. That way you don't have to build them. I know there's one quest you can spam and get a beacon every time, but at the same time, that's kind of cheating. You know, and I don't want to cheat at the game, but like I said, if you do a quest and you get the mission and you get to keep the stuff, I mean that's fine. But don't just uh, do the mission, get the resources, quit, come back later, do the mission, get the resources, and quit. Just do the mission, be done with it, and move on. I mean, building beacons are part of it. You know, there's part of the game. You know, you might as well play it to the full extent. You know. Now I know I don't get too technical with breeding and all that stuff. That was the two wolves I bred, or the first two wolves I ever did any part of the breeding. Uh, like I said, I watched a couple of videos. Some of them guys get so technical with it, it literally gave me a headache. So, like I said, I will breed, uh, but I'm not going to get that technical with it. I mean, look at our wolves, the wolves we got. I mean, they're pretty badass already. So, I don't know what any kind of special breed has to do, but I wouldn't mind having the different colored wolves like that one guy had. I mean, it was pretty cool looking wolves, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to get that technical with it. You know, I just don't like telling people how to do something or anything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate guys that explain stuff like that, but at the same time, man, I mean, I love Icarus, but I also have other games I like to play. So, and I'm not just going to keep all that in my head anyway. Because like when I get done with this series of Icarus, hell, it might be a while before I even come back to play Icarus again. But, and being as old as I am, hell, I walked into the kitchen earlier and stood there and couldn't figure out why I walked into the kitchen, came back, sat down, and realized I didn't have my sandwich. Well, I went in there to get the sandwich. So, but the only good thing is at least I hadn't forgotten why I went to the bathroom for. When I go into the bathroom, that's a good thing. When you know, I still remember I have to go to the bathroom when I go in there. But as far as going into the kitchen and stuff, it's just part of old age, I guess. Having those kind of brain farts are normal. But yeah, looking at the ice storm and stuff like that. I try to enter down there, and there's a polar bear down there at the south end. Down there, it was pretty dang vicious. I mean, I'm gonna have to find me a spot where I can go in. It's a little bit wider. Or each time I went, I didn't have the wolves with me, so wasn't able to kill him. So, he did kill me though. I have to give him that. I wasn't prepared to run into him right there and then, and I didn't have my health bar up. They think they've got a lead on some exotics. But yeah, we'll be doing all the missions here, and I'll record each mission. Unlike I did with that other one where I forgot to push record when I was having all the technical difficulty or something. But I am going to do
This is major.
every episode will have a mission.
UDA's given
I'm going to
Lagos
start
the
putting missions
go-ahead
on
to
every
expand
episode,
operations. They're
and
looking for data
hopefully
on
y'all
the
enjoy all
business.
that.
If you can get in there,
But
it'll open the place up for scanning,
now
prospecting, and a whole
I
lot
don't know
else.
how to say it,
There's a
but
lot of
I
questions
appreciate
here,
anybody who's watching
and
the
they're
video.
paying top
Thank
dollar
you for
for
that.
answers.
But like I said, leave a
Choice is
comment if
yours.
you have any advice on what to do or things that might make it more interesting or something, and get people to stay more involved with the video. Then I'm all ears, you know. And don't be scared. Like I said before, don't be scared to hurt my feelings, because I'm here to tell you I don't have any. Or at least that's what my friends tell me anyway. Uh, it's not very hard. It, you know, people have tried to make me mad, but just haven't been able to do it. I have one friend, Drew. You know, he's a good
They've
guy.
been
We
noticing your
get in there and
work
we start
and
giving
want
each
to
other
take
hard times
advantage
all
of
the
new
time.
territory. If they can get
And he'd be
terrain
the first one
data,
to tell
they
you
can
you
plan
can't
new
hurt my
drop
feelings. You can
zones,
piss me
open
off,
the
but you
place
can't hurt my
wide up.
feelings.
You got this?
But in order to piss me off, you really have to get downright dirty. I can guarantee you that. But other than that, don't be afraid to leave a comment or like or share the video. You know, everything helps out.
So, seems the
Yeah, we're just
UDA's
going to sit here
noticed
and
you.
look at some of these
Told Lagos unit to
missions
offer
that
you
we're going
this
to come
one
up through.
direct.
Now, I do know, I do tell you, when you look at those missions, you see that little
The
yellow circle
assembly
in the
are
top right
expanding
corner
their
of it. That means
footprint.
you've done that one before. And you can see that most of
Unido's
mine
got
don't
a
have
job
that.
for you,
So
if you
I've
don't
always got
mind who you're
sidetracked with
working
building
for.
something or just farming,
They got
stuff like
plans
that,
for this
instead of doing
planet,
the quest.
and that means
Like I said, this game you can play it so many, but
they're
you don't
keen
have
to
to do
open
any of
up
the
new
quests or
regions
anything.
for
You can just go in
prospecting.
and start building, get XP, unlock stuff,
Cinetide
get
never.
mine for exotics or stuff like that. You don't actually have to do the missions, but then again, at the same time, you're one of those individuals who wants to complete the full game like me. I will complete it eventually, but if I'm having too much farming, I'm going to wind up farming the heck out of it. But yeah, it's just
This one's for
I
Cinetide.
want to finish all the missions
They
before I
want
go
it
into the
done quick
next
and clean.
DLC of it, and hopefully that all that works out good for it. Now, like I said, you know,
UDA is under
leave a
serious
like, leave a
pressure to up
comment,
their exotic
share,
shipments.
and I'll
They
see
want
y'all on the next
Lagos
one.
pushing into
Peace
new
out.
zones like yesterday. Places no. So, Lagos unit got desperate and approved an urgent Group 15 drop into unsurveyed territory. But the dropship never made it.